But as far as the Joshi wrestlers popping up on the U.S. Indies, I feel
Mm-hmm.
this thing is starting and it's an influx. And this is there was a match announced. It was Miyu Yamashita, and she's showing up to like North Carolina,
Yes,
and she's
Raleigh, North Carolina, the Triangle.
yeah. So Chad, go. um, I didn't catch the name of the young lady she's
Oh,
wrestling.
Miyuki Takase,
Okay. Yep. So and obviously
another one
she's
of the top freelancers in Joshi. Yeah.
so like what is this about, James? Like all these Joshis like popping up in independent wrestling because I feel like some replacement is about to go on right now.
I had the same thoughts. Like you sent it, you didn't say nothing, and like I said the same thoughts. I sent to Kobe Bryant with young Kobe with the afro with the eyebrows up, like, like, um, look, there have been. I mean, there's always been in the indie scene. There's always been, from Shimmer. A lot of it was made off of like Asuka Kana coming here and wrestling like Cerro Del Rey, and other people that along the time, like, and then you've always had like Ring of Honor. They always would bring in like an Anai or bring in stardom wrestlers like Mayu or Hazuki or Getsu um Hazuki or whatever else. And like, Lucha Underground, they brought in the Freedom. Like, it's always been this thing of bringing in talent. And like, even I think even like for Shimmer, like Arisa Nakajima showed up. Like, I think she doesn't want to do it anymore. She didn't like her stay. Like, she talked about like she didn't like the food here, whatever else. She liked the
Can't
fans,
blame
but she
her.
didn't like the food. Right? She didn't like the food. She didn't like her arrangement. Like, I think she had to split a room with somebody. She didn't say who it was, but it's like she didn't want to do it, but she did enjoy the fans. I remember her saying that. But um, like, there's always been a market for good ass wrestlers coming over here, and like, Stardom's got more popular. Tokyo Joshi Pro's got more popular. That's been helped a lot with the NXTs and AEWs, especially for the Tokyo Joshi Pro wrestlers as well for the AEW side. To get a Yuka and Maki, and they're both wrestling in Oregon. And then now uh you say it was Miyu. I'm sorry, not Yuka, but Ito and Miyu. And Miyu, like, I mean, she was the Shimmer champion, or no, Shine champion. I'm sorry, she was a Shine champion in 2019. Like, she lost it back to Allison Kay, and like, obviously she wants to come back. She's doing that now. Like, and while she's here, she's going to go. People are going to try and book her. And like, I think you even told me like that somebody got booked on PWG.
Yes, Yuka Sakazaki got booked on PWG against Masha Slamovich, and I was like, man. So I wonder if people were going to be upset with this because with the influx of the Joshi wrestlers, some of the Joshi wrestlers have faced vile racism online from certain segments
Yep.
of the people. They've also like been subjected to like, or the fans have been subjected to this weird projection thing. Like it's some sex thing. It's some just some weird thing. No one could possibly be interested in better wrestlers like at all. So like I'm just like wondering, will this backlash come like when when insert wrestler name here that's been crying about not being booked in certain places. Are they going to be upset? Are they going to realize women are being booked,
Are they gonna be
or
upset that they ain't booked still? Yeah.
we will see?
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, and like, to be fair, at face value, some of the critique, or a lot of the critiques I've seen for independent pro wrestling and not having women talent on there, it's legitimate. But I think we're going to see a lot of some of these places, like, they come to, when people get booked, it comes to the surface that they really were saying like, why it's not about necessarily the collective, it's about them. And like, I don't know. I don't know how to necessarily dismiss them as saying they're frauds or garbage people, but it is going to be interesting to see how they handle it and how not to, if they're going to tell them themselves or whatever else, and like how people deal with like now that there will be women in PWG, now what? And then like what happens from there going forward, and then like what is that going to look like, and all this, and like to be quite honest, I mean we talk about this all the time. I talk about this with you all the time. Where it's like there's so much fucking so many talented women in Japan, and like I don't, I watch a shit ton more than you do, and I still feel like there's just more people that I even have time to see, right? And there's like like 15 promotions in Japan alone. And I'm like Stardom is kind of like they do stuff and collaborate with the rest of the Joshi world. Tokyo Joshi Pro is just kind of like isolated to itself. But like everybody else, kind of like at this point, it's kind of up for grabs, and people moving around and people making moves and doing these freelance units, and people are trying to or looking at it as like, all right, well, someone like Miyuki Takase, like she's a top freelancer, she's doing nomads, and they're trying to, they have a chance to be like a viable number 3 now that like Ice Rip is going to shit, and it's like, or is going to shit, whatever. But because they have like Mayuki and Takase and Rina Yamashita, and they have Rina Yamashita, like all of them are like Rina Yamashi's already done a few shots over here already. So it's like, who do you think got her to connect to get this booking for DPW? And then like Takase was trained by Mizunami, so it's like Mizunami's already been over here too. Like, so there's going to be a lot more of this over the coming years, where you're going to see a lot of talented people, and like all it takes is like showing up on TV a few times to be someone can be booked, and we're going to see how this goes going forward with like the American talent. And quite honestly, like if enough of them come over here for enough shots and everything else, like this could be for the betterment of like American women's wrestling too, to where like you can get some people some matches with people that are super experienced.
Yeah. So that's kind of my thought on it as well.
But the thing is, like, are they going to see? But are American women going to see it that way? Or are they going to see it as like, fuck it, just more competition?
Look,
we'll see how this goes,
and that goes for fans as well. Like, because it's like, are you going to see this as like just a change? Like we know. Like, and I talked about this when Britt Baker won the title from Sheeta, and just how people were just dying to get it off of Sheeta for some reason. It's like you want that comfortable face that's right in front, that familiar face as or whatever. And I've just seen how people have treated Riho online, and I've just not liked it, and It's really bothered me. All she does is go into every building and get over and have a great match every time.
Right. There was somebody this week that was trying to tell people that Alexa Bliss is a better wrestler than Riho. I'm like, what, nigga? Are you out of your mind?
Put down the crack cocaine.
Based on what? Like, quite honestly, bro. Like, I don't think I can. I maybe I'm wrong, but I could probably look it up and go through it over else. I do not think that Alexa Bliss has been in a singles match that was considered great. Quite honestly, I don't think she's been in one that was even really good.
James, I'm going to list the great Alexa Bliss matches that there have ever been. That's the list.
Okay, so I was trying to be more fair, but let's see where you go with this. I think the thing for me is like Riho, like just from 2019 to the pandemic, kind of like she had a track record of just like always having quality matches, at worst quality matches. Sometimes they were like great matches. Most of the time these matches were just kick ass, and I'm just like, how do you confuse these two things where like the crowd's going banana for her matches, meanwhile Alexa Bliss matches is like, oh, they're cool, whatever. They're not really there to see her wrestle, and it's weird. I don't know, man. I just don't. I don't see how anyone can even objectively try to come to that conclusion. Like, just tell me like you're really into Alexa Bliss, and then like we can just move on.
Be
Like,
honest.
yeah, yeah, and like I understand like what we're doing, what I'm kind of doing to that person is like what we're kind of saying like people are doing to like Joshi fans, but it's like I'm sorry,
Like I feel like there's a
most
lot.
most of the can we agree that like most of the women in professional wrestling are attractive?
I think that as a general rule,
Right.
that kind of lends itself to.
So if that's the case, like why would anyone have favorites or like do you think people are like have some like Asian fetish thing? I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, man. It's
And I'm willing to go and say like I'm pretty sure there are some people like that, but not I can't put a percentage on it. I don't think it'd be the majority. I just think like they do a lot of there's a lot of good wrestling that you just don't see and you're unaware of, and like not like hold it against other people that they think there's other wrestling that's as good or better than what you're watching. Like, don't hold on to think like the wrestling you're watching is the best wrestling. There's so much fucking wrestling. How the fuck can you ever figure out what's the best wrestling? There's great wrestling everywhere.